I hung up on the phone interview. Right, so I'm going to go back on to last video. Carrying on, I got the job. It feels so good, it really does. Today I'm going to cover a bit about the process of the interview and things like that, and who it is I'm actually going to be working for, and my role. Now, it's a job that I probably didn't think I would want to do, to be completely honest with you. But the more I look into it, and the more I did a bit of research, I really think I'm going to enjoy it. Now, the role's with EE, the phone company, who's now with BT. It is call centre work. It's a sales advisor, so it's all incoming calls. So I'll be speaking to you if you're phoning to upgrade or anything like that. I'll also do customer service calls and things as well. Now, I have done a previous job where it involves working in a call centre, and that was directory inquiries. That wasn't for me. Purely because, granted, it was all incoming calls, but there was no conversation. It was just literally system, thank you, just powering through these calls. Whereas with this one, I'm actually going to be able to build a rapport with customers and speak to them and have conversations, which I'm really looking forward to. It's just the sort of person I am. I'm happy to chat away to people. I'm not one for boom, right out the door, boom, out the door. No, that's not me. So I'm really looking forward to it. What I will say is I did a lot of research on the job before lining up to the interview and things. I applied for it on a whim. I really did. I thought, you know what, that'll do. Get me going. But the more I look into it, the more I think I'm really going to enjoy it. And having been in the premises, the building I'm going to be working in, everyone seems so nice. It's such a friendly, vibrant atmosphere. So I'm genuinely really looking forward to it. Now, the whole process from the application through to interview, it was first time I've actually encountered this. So I applied for the job on Indeed. Now, I want to make it clear, none of this is sponsored. This is just the process I used. So I applied on Indeed because I had my CV all uploaded. And as I say, from a few videos ago, I was really down, really was, because it was just constant rejection. But I got an email through about a phone, it wasn't a phone interview that time, or was it? No, I'm getting myself confused. It wasn't then, it was before then. I got an email regarding an AI interview, which was a bit strange, and I've said about AI, it's a bit, I'm not too sure about it. But it was online, it was literally just 5 questions. And I thought, right, we'll go ahead with it. Not exactly my cup of tea to be talking to AI, but we'll give it a go. And it was just 5 questions about yourself and scenarios. And all you do is type in your answers. It felt quite strange, but I did it. I suppose it's the same as any form of application in a way. But you fill it out, send it off. And after you've done that, it actually sends you a wee report of how they feel your personality is. And it was actually quite accurate. It was strange. Good, but strange. To know that this AI had figured me out with 5 questions. So I did that went, and I didn't hear anything for about a week and a half. So I thought probably, alright, that's just out the window. I then got a phone, was it a phone call? No. I then got an email about a phone interview. And I thought, right, progress. We're getting somewhere now. And that was going to be the next day. So this was on the day where I'd had rejection. So that was something that actually picked me up. This was at about, I think it was about 1 o'clock or something. So it helped for the rest of the day. It really did. Before I went on to that, I went through some proper digging online to look at what sort of thing they're asking, what sort of thing they're looking for on these phone interviews. And you find a lot about it if you do a bit of research. Granted, most of it said about the way you should answer the questions, or even what possible questions would come up. And it was all fairly standard. And for me, a lot of the answers that some people have put up there are how I would answer it anyway. So I thought, right, I should be fine for this, but you never know. So I had to lock myself away on the Wednesday, in the bedroom. Everyone knew in the house, don't disturb me. Phone interview. And I got the phone, well, hear this out. I was on my phone, just doing stuff, and I was closing apps, and my phone went, and I accidentally swiped, closing an app, and hung up. I hung up on the phone interview. Wasn't the best thing to do. Thankfully, she phoned back a couple of minutes later, and it was really relaxed. The person that phoned, Emma, was great on the phone, just chatting away, asking questions, but in a very informal way, informal manner, so it was more of a conversation. And I felt great. I really did. I felt like I was able to actually put myself across for a change instead of just sending in bits of paper. In fact, it's not even bits of paper anymore, is it? It's just a digital file. So that felt good, to be able to actually put myself across, as I say, my personality and that. And that went well. And she said, right, are you free on this date? And I was like, looking at it. Yes, I'm good. That was last Friday. So she booked it in, 9 o'clock in the morning. I assumed it would be a bit of a group interview, but it wasn't. No, it really wasn't. I turned up. I was early, as I said before. I got down there early because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get caught in traffic. Sat there in what is a new building, very new building, down on Green Market in Dundee. Nice building. Everyone in there, even like what I'm guessing security, really friendly, chatting away to you. It was good. Felt really comfortable, even though I was sitting there all my Todd, sweating because it was just one of those days. It was roasting. Sat, waited, and someone came down for me, took me upstairs. Now the first part of it was I sat on a call with another call handler, sales advisor, to basically hear what the job entails. So I heard a couple of calls, not much, but I was able to actually chat away to him as well, find out a bit about the company, a bit about how he likes it, what he thinks of it as well. And I find that's a good way of gauging how the job's likely to be. Speak to the people that are doing it. He'd been there for 2 years. He enjoyed it. Really did. I asked him about things like commission, because obviously that's wages. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, seems okay. I was there for, it must have been about half an hour. I was listening to calls and chatting away to him for. Then Chloe, who had come and got me, took me into one of the conference rooms, sat down for the interview. Now the interview was a bit of a different thing as well, because they ask you to do what is technically a 5-minute presentation, either on teaching them something new, or a product or service that EE doesn't offer that should. Now I had heard various different things from Emma, who did the phone interview. She said that people had taken a cake in to demonstrate and explain how you'd bake a cake, or apparently some guy took in, or didn't take it in, but he was talking about a fridge that would open the door for you as you walk towards it, so you get your milk and it makes life easier for you. Fair enough. I'm not going to go into what I said, because to me it's actually a really good idea, and I've told them if this goes anywhere, my idea, I want credit, so I'm not advertising that on here, but look out for the EE, you never know. But yeah, did that, chatting away, we're asking questions, and then it got into the proper, more formal side of the interview, asking questions about scenarios and how I'd been able to speak to a customer who maybe wasn't in the best place and able to not necessarily turn their way of thinking, but de-escalate a situation and get them on side, which is all very much part of customer service. And I used a few fairly, I say they weren't recent, it was from my TUI days when I was back in Lanzarote. There was a couple that arrived. I don't think they were actually our customers. But they arrived, but their suitcases didn't. And the guy was obviously a bit frustrated and things, so we managed to talk to him. And I eventually, the next day, because obviously there was no sign of the suitcase, we didn't know what was happening, I brought up some of my own clothes for him. So at least he had something to wear. He didn't have to go and spend his spending money on clothes just to enjoy his holiday. That was the scenario I went through. It's something I'll always remember, and I hope he remembers as well. But with scenarios and things like that, and then it was just general chit-chat about things, and I found out about the company a bit more. Even though, as I say, I'd done quite a bit of research, and it was one of the more relaxed interviews I've ever had. Even though I had to do a presentation, it was very relaxed, and in a weird way I enjoyed it. So anyone that's looking to go in for an interview at EE, I'm not entirely sure what the shop staff would be, but go in with an open mind. A lot of people think call centre work is just a certain thing, it's like double glazing and all that sort of thing. To me, I don't think it is that way. It's what you make of it, and it's what the people around you are. So my start date is the 11th of August, as I said, and that is from the day of this video coming out, 3 weeks. I'll be starting. And strangely enough, actually yesterday, well I'm recording this yesterday, so on Tuesday, I had an email inviting me to another interview. Now this is something I applied for on the 2nd of June, and they're just getting back to me to arrange interviews. I just politely said, look, I'm sorry, I've already got something else, but thank you and good luck finding someone for the position. Because it's a job, I mean, I would happily do it, but with minimum wage there's not much to earn, not really much more potential to earn and things like that as well, so I feel what I've picked is the good shout.